Hey everyone, it's Angela with Mystic Moon. Welcome to another Twin Flame reading. So I just want to start off by saying a few things first. I, of course, want to start off by saying thank you so much to everybody who just shows so much love and support for my channel. I truly feel overwhelmed with joy and absolute gratitude in my heart. I don't think when I started doing Twin Flame readings that I realized just how big that was, just how much of a response that I was going to get. So I just want to say thank you so much to all my viewers. I know that not in every single video I start off with a thank you. Just know in the bottom of my heart when I go through those comments, my heart is so filled. I seriously feel so freaking grateful. You guys are so freaking awesome. And I remember I used to let some of the negative comments really get to me. And there's really not that many these days, but I just don't even give a shit about them anymore because the good always outweighs the bad. Always, no matter what situation you're dealing with. People's negativity and people's crap can't touch you when you're in the light. Just can't. They can try, but they can't take you down. So anyways, I just wanted to start off by saying thank you very much for everybody who has commented, reached out with your beautiful words, your emails to let me know how much you appreciate what I do here on my channel, how much it's helped you, how much you resonated with the readings, as well as anybody who has purchased a reading from me. I mean, I'm so blessed to have, this abundance right now of business. And because of that, I used to have a 7-day delivery policy, and now I'm having to, extend it to 10 days. So, I just want to let everybody know that, I really do, I try to get as many readings done in a day so I can have a quick delivery time. But my schedule is just getting so busy that I literally am having to work Saturdays now, which I didn't have to work before. And I'm not complaining. I'm definitely grateful for it. It's just that my schedule and my business is definitely increasing. So I'm trying to fit everybody in as best as I possibly can. So now I'm at a 10-day delivery, and I have made that announcement in my Etsy shop. So I hope that in the future, whoever goes to my Etsy shop will see that and see that if they want to get a reading, that it's going to be about a 10-day wait. So I'm sorry if that doesn't work out for some of you guys. I also added a brand new listing because most of my Twin Flame readings are 60 minutes. I have added some 30-minute readings, and I've just added a 15-minute reading. And I know you're probably thinking, like, what can you do in 15 minutes? Well, some people just want a quick check-in. Some of you have done a reading with me before and you just kind of want to check in on the energies, but you don't want some long drawn-out reading. So that would be a great one. It's 15 minutes, 3 specific questions. And of course, I'll spend 15 minutes on all 3 of those questions, bringing forth anything that you guys want to know at that time. And even for new clients, if you guys just don't want a long drawn out reading, the 15-minute might work for you. So I just wanted to let you guys know that I added that into my Etsy shop. At some point, I'm going to be moving away from Etsy because the fees are getting outrageous, and I will be going to my own website. So that's in the works in the next month or so. I'm also going to be bringing in some specials in February, as well as adding some monthly readings that you guys can always tune into and look forward to. A lot of the stuff that I do is freestyle, and I will continue to do that. I'll just kind of do it when I'm guided to do it, but I am going to do specific ones. Instead of doing all 12 astrological signs, I'm going to add in the elements. So I'm going to do all fire signs, all air signs, all earth signs, and all water signs. So that way it kind of breaks up some of the divine masculines that I'm channeling. That way I don't just get either stuck on just one energy. There's many energies, and if I compartmentalize them, it'll just be a little bit easier to channel some new information. I think a lot of my viewers seem to resonate with the energy that I seem to bring forth, but sometimes that can switch and change and not resonate all the time. So I just want to give everybody that nice variety. What else? Let's see here. Oh, as far as emails go, some of my readings do include a follow-up email, and I love hearing the feedback from my clients on their readings. Absolutely love it. But sometimes when we do, the email and stuff, and I get so backed up, I don't have time to respond because I don't like to do just a quick little generic response. I like to get into it. So if you guys haven't heard back from me in a couple of days, just know that I'm thinking of you. I've seen your email, but I gotta sit down and catch my breath to respond to the emails. But thank you for your feedback. Also too, I'm going to start giving deck names because a lot of you in my comments ask what decks that I'm using. And that's another thing with my comments in my YouTube videos. I used to be able to go through and literally, you'll see in some of my older videos where I could actually respond to every person. You know, and again, it's like not this bragging thing like, oh my God, I'm so successful and busy now, you know. I swore to myself like I would never be one of those readers, but I'm finding that like I just don't, unfortunately I see them and I will, you know, hit the love because I want you guys to know that I did see it and I did read it. But I don't always have time to sit down and actually give a good response. And so some of you that have asked questions, I will try to specifically answer those. And then there's some of you that are actually getting your your questions answered from other YouTube users, which is interesting. And there's another thing too about my comments. I just want you guys to know that they are unapproved. So I have to approve them. So sometimes when you guys comment on my videos, you're not going to see them post immediately. You're going to wonder where they're at. The reason I do this is because A, it eliminates haters, and there's a lot, and B, it eliminates my my viewer or my audience from being attacked. There are a lot of people out there that want to tell you exactly what to do or just flat out attack you, and I'm not going to have it on my channel. So if I'm filtering it on my end, I'm also going to filter it on your end as well. And that would be the reason why some of you guys, like if somebody is just posting a comment and they're just complaining and they're not even saying anything positive and they're not even saying like, you know, thanks for the reading, I'm sorry, I'm just going to delete it because it's negative. I'm not saying people can't talk and just express their issues and their you know, their challenges, because that's a part of this journey and a part of life. I definitely will approve some of those comments, but it just depends. It depends on how it's coming across. It depends on if it's this know-it-all, people trying to tell other people what to do and how to live their lives. I'm not going to have it. I'm not going to have it. So anyways, that's pretty much it. And also another thing too is that there are some of you, I think that the reason that I put so much of my content and make it about the divine masculine is because a lot of us divine feminines want to know what the hell's going on with our divine masculines, okay? A lot of us feel like we know what we're doing on our end, but we don't know what's going on with the divine masculine. Well, I've had some of you recently comment and say, oh, I was really bummed out that, you know, you didn't do anything on the divine feminine, or you didn't spend enough time, or you didn't do anything at all. So I do realize that with some of my readings, I'm going to have to be a little bit more balanced in that area. So today's reading, I'm going to do both divine masculine and divine feminine. That way we have some balanced energy and messages coming through. So I apologize for any of you out there that feel like you've gotten gypped for the divine feminines. It's not that she doesn't matter, she does. It's just that I think I was just kind of in the flow and I was just going with it. So anyways, I think that's all I'm going to say for now. The deck names that I'm using here today. This is the Dreams of Gaia Tarot here. I don't know the author, I'm sorry, but we have the same deck from the same artist here and the same author. It's called the Messenger Oracle. So she makes the same exact cards, so some of the images are the same in here. And then we have the John Holland decks here, the Psychic Tarot and then the Psychic Heart Tarot. These are tarot and / oracle cards, which are really cool. I do take the chakra meanings out of there. I don't know why, just take them out. They came with the deck, but I don't know. I guess I'm just don't feel like I'm really that great at explaining chakras, so I just thought, I'm just going to take them out. So if you guys don't ever see them in there, that's why. And then I have some, you know, regular oracle things that we're going to be using, and, you know, the whole thing. It's always a bunch of decks, so. All right. So I'm going to try and keep this one short. I'm already 8 minutes and 48 minutes in, and I'll definitely put a little timestamp in there so not all of you have to listen to this. So, as usual, this purple deck is going to represent the divine masculine energy. This green deck is going to represent the divine feminine. This Dreams of Gaia deck is going to represent the union, as well as these oracle cards, the same, the union, okay? And then I might dip into some other cards as well. So I'm going to put these over here for now. Okay. So what we want to know is, where's the divine masculine at this current time in his headspace? Like, what's going on in his headspace? And it could have something to do with you, or it might not have anything to do with you. So let's go ahead and take a look, because I am going to draw a card that is going to represent what's going on in his headspace when he is thinking about you, okay? I just want to know both. I like specific information. And if you guys are wondering what music is playing in the background, if you can even hear it, it's like this electronic music that I found on Apple Music. It's from a artist called Marcus Scholes. So that is the name of the artist. Okay. Okay, so what's going on in the divine masculine's mind, his headspace right now? Oh. Okay, well, we have two cards that popped out. One fell on the floor. So I guess he's got a couple of things going on. Very interesting. We have the Seven of Swords energy coming through. And we also have the Wheel of Fortune coming through. Very interesting. So what I'm picking up from this is right now, and again, this isn't specific on what he's thinking about when he is thinking about you. Could be, but I wasn't specific on that, okay? So try not to personalize this. This 10 here, the 10s are representations of cycles, endings, etc. So this is the Wheel of Fortune here, and we know that the Wheel of Fortune, as it keeps turning, we have different aspects of things that we're experiencing. Sometimes our luck is down, sometimes our luck is up, and in this particular case for me, when I see this Wheel of Fortune Destiny card, just tells me that your divine masculine is becoming aware of something big. He's becoming aware of something that is maybe bigger than himself, some sort of path or some sort of I always say this, but that aha moment of, okay, you know, there's more to a situation than I've either been seeing or just dealing with. We've got the deception and envy card here. So when this is coming up in combination with this, to me, it's kind of like your divine masculine may have been lying to himself for quite some time, or he may have been experiencing this type of behavior with himself or with others when dealing with things, being deceptive or also being envious. But I see this card here as someone is wearing a mask and they're just kind of slightly lifting it off of their face, and they're just starting to kind of peek out the real situation, the real deal. What the hell's really going on here? What are they really doing? What do they want to do? So it's like something is becoming apparent to them, or they're in some kind of, for some of them, are in some kind of a karmic cycle. Because the thing is that is the Wheel of Fortune as well. It represents karma to me. It represents cycles, and it represents change. So to me, it might be an end of this cycle for some of them that they're thinking about. It might just be an end. They're tired of lying, or they're tired of being deceptive. They're tired of hiding. They're tired of being envious of what others have, even possibly. And so they're willing to go out on a limb and start to go after their destiny and go after things that they want. Some people just have a hard time. They sit back and they let everything just kind of slide by, and they don't really go off after what it is that they truly, truly want. And so they sit back and they're just envious. Well, I'm seeing that this is a cycle that your divine masculines are actually thinking about ending. So that's a very positive thing. So what is going on in the divine masculine's mind or headspace when he thinks about his divine feminine specifically? Did you see that? Just popped out. We have the Nine of Pentacles here, material harvest, okay? So traditionally, the Nine of Pentacles is a card where people are just kind of single. They're just kind of doing their own thing. They're working in the material world. They're working on building themselves up in the material world, okay? But what I'm actually getting from this is that your divine masculine, because he's just been kind of like in this phase for so long, where he's just been lying to himself or lying to others, and it seems to me through this card here, it's that he's getting tired of that cycle. He would like to experience something a little bit more meaningful. He's starting to look at things where he wants to build himself. He wants to separate himself from maybe something that he's been dealing with and take on more of a serious role when it comes to, you know, doing things that he can do in the material world. So when I say, what is he thinking when he's thinking of the divine feminine? Did it even really give us an answer? It really didn't. It more or less just kind of let us know that he's kind of looking in the material world at what he has. And maybe for some of them, they might not be looking at it in the sense where they feel like they have much to offer at this time. So they're going to want to have something to offer you, which means that maybe once they do, they will reach out, okay? But again, you know, for me, it's like, is there anything else that he's thinking about when he thinks of the divine feminine? I want to know. I'm pushing it. I want to know. Is he just thinking about money? Is he just thinking about himself and his material wealth? Or is he thinking about anything else? All right, that wanted to fly out. Okay, well, I'm glad I asked, okay? We've got the Ace of Cups. What a beautiful card to have when I'm asking, like, what is the divine masculine thinking about when we're talking about the divine feminine? This has to do with new beginnings. This has to do with sharing his cup with her. So what I'm getting from this, and the reason why the Nine of Pentacles probably came out first, is that for some of them, they're really waiting to feel more self-sufficient and more stable on their own, or in fact single, aside from the karmic relationship. Maybe that's what they're ending here. They're ending the cycle. So because of that, they're really wanting to get serious about who they are in the material world, so that way they have something solid to offer you this time. Maybe this is a second or a third or a fourth go around for some of you. Who knows how many times it is, but he wants to do it a little bit differently this time. He doesn't want to have to lie to you this time. He doesn't want to have to be deceptive. He wants to do it different. So he's working on himself so that way he can have something to offer you from his cup. So that way it can run over and flow to you. That's just what I'm seeing here. So let's go ahead and take a look at the divine feminine. What's going on in her headspace? Just period. What's going on? That one wanted to fly out. Okay, so we have the balance card here. You know what's funny is I actually don't read astrological signs. It's like my first thought is this is a Sagittarius card. But, you know, I'm not even going to go there for this reading. The balance card. This is like temperance in regular tarot. So do you see how beautiful that is? In her mind, it's like she's so closely connected with her divine masculine. They almost feel like they are one. That is amazing as a twin flame card. So what's going on in her mind space is she very much has her divine masculine on her mind. Okay. And this is just like the energy that we're talking about where she's just, you know, on her own. Maybe she's not even thinking of her divine masculine, but I know she's thinking about her divine masculine because it's right there. It's literally connected to her head and her brain. So we know that she's very much thinking about the divine masculine. She has him on her mind and she's basically balancing the energy. She's working with the energy in a more calm, just a more calmer state than she maybe has in the past. She's really taking the time to blend the energies back and forth. She's really just balancing things out, which is that key word, balance. So I'm seeing that the divine feminines here that I'm channeling are really in a good space. They're in a good mental space to where they can finally do this. They can finally feel good about the connection. They're not wasting time in this feeling of anxiety and just an emotional basket case. It's like they're learning to be balanced. And you know what? If there's some divine feminines out there that aren't feeling this way, don't worry about it. This is just really Spirit's way of saying, you know what, we want you to get into this space. This is where you should be, okay? Things are going on with the divine masculine. We do see some positive changes. Maybe it's time to have a little bit more faith in the situation, okay? And get a little bit more balanced with your thinking when it comes to your divine masculine. Very interesting. So to me, that was enough. I know that the divine masculine is in her head space. I don't need to ask an individual question of what is she thinking about, what she's thinking about the divine masculine. I don't even need to. So now we're going to go back to the divine masculine. What is in his heart space? So there's quite a difference with what somebody is thinking logically versus what somebody is actually feeling in their heart. Okay. Let's take a look. So what is the divine masculine feeling when it comes to the divine feminine? All right, we got two. Okay, we have the world and we also have the wisdom. Very interesting. You know what's so funny is that the last few times that I've done channel divine masculine energy, the Hierophant keeps coming up. It's so strange. You know, I get a few different messages when I pick up the card. Yeah, actually, literally a few. One of them is marriage, because that traditionally has something to do with marriage. Some of them are in institution like schools, learning something, so they're acquiring wisdom. Others might have issues with with commitment, which is sometimes coming across as an issue. But really, I just almost am feeling like this is more of like a spiritual journey. That's what I'm feeling here, okay? So as far as how he feels in his heart for the divine feminine, I love to see the world card, the universe. First of all, this is universal connection. Some of them are really starting to feel the cosmic connection and that magical energy between him and his divine feminine. It's like he's starting to wake up. We already see the destiny card here. It's almost like he's being drawn back to his divine feminine, where he's starting to put the pieces together. Things are starting to click. If he either hasn't been thinking of his divine feminine, it's like he's certainly thinking about her now. He's starting to feel something. It's like there's this cosmic energy that is surrounding him, or just energy, period. And he's just really starting to feel something. Maybe the divine feminine, maybe she's, been sending positive light and positive thoughts, and it's finally starting to kick things up. Maybe it's this porthole everybody's talking about, that happened, that's just happening right now. There's just many things at work here. It's like this door has opened and people are now starting to feel things. Things are happening at a crazy rate. I know a lot of people where crazy things are happening, and I'm talking about crazy good, like shock, like I can't believe that actually happened. It's very, very strange. So you can pretty much expect anything this year is what I'm trying to say. But then we have the wisdom card. This is the Hierophant, spiritual knowledge. Also, to me, when it comes up, it's like spiritual connection. So this is a spiritual cosmic connection. It's like he's starting to feel things on such a deep level when it comes to his divine feminine. So those are beautiful cards. I mean, they're not the mushy cards that I would have loved to see, like the Two of Cups and, the Nine of Cups and the Ten of Cups. But you know what? To me, I do feel that this divine masculine is either on a journey or he's about ready to get on a journey. I do feel this awakening happening. And with this new acquired wisdom, he's going to start to see things for how they truly are. And he's going to want a new beginning with this divine feminine. I already see him wanting to close a chapter and to end a cycle. And to end a cycle, to go right into this world for the 21. This is new. This is a closure and new beginning is what this is. So it's very hopeful, very, very hopeful. So let's go ahead and take a look what the divine feminine is feeling in her heart when she's thinking about the divine masculine. Oh, the High Priestess. Listen. Beautiful. Now I'm going to tell you this, and I can't remember. I think I saw this, and so I literally got this idea from another reader. Okay, so it's definitely not my own, but it made sense to me. When we talk about, card indicators in the tarot deck, the Emperor and the Empress to me are divine feminine and divine masculine in 3D. But what about the 5D? Who are they in the 5D? The High Priestess and the Hierophant, which are the two spiritual members of the, tarot. So I think it's very interesting that we have the divine masculine coming up as the Hierophant and the divine feminine coming. Well, it's not that they're coming up this way, but just like that these are the cards that they get. 5D match, beautiful, listening. So when she thinks of, or when she's feeling in her heart towards her divine masculine, she's got the High Priestess, like she's really, really listening. And I'm also getting like she is tuned in. Look at these vibes that are radiating out away from her. Like she is radiating so high right now. She is so in tune. If she's sending out energy, he's feeling it. I'm telling you, it's definitely creating some changes in his world and creating some changes in the universe. I mean, it's very, very cosmic and very, very powerful. So, yeah, that's really, really cool. So I'm going to go ahead and put these cards to the side. And now we're going to ask about how the divine masculine, like, how does he see the divine feminine right now? Okay, how does he see her? How is he viewing her at this time? Whether they're in communication, they're not in communication, they have sour blood between the two of them, they haven't spoken in years. How does he see his divine feminine right now? The waiting game. This is the Two of Wands energy. Okay, so the Two of Wands, technically for me, is like, it's a two. It's like potential to come together and blend energies together. The Wands suit is about fire. It's about passion. Okay, so when I say, how does the divine masculine view his divine feminine? It's only a matter of freaking time. We've got these roots here, okay, these roots, and then this growth here in the top of the hourglass, and then the divine masculine is just kind of like making his laps. He's waiting a little bit. He's doing some work in the material world. He's getting things prepped. So when he's thinking of his divine feminine and how he sees her as it's only a matter of time. He may be waiting for some reason to make contact. He may be waiting for some reason to come forward to you, but he's waiting on something. There's just something that he's got going on, or there's a reason or a higher purpose as to why he's waiting. But how he sees the divine feminine is that it's just a matter of time, that he's going to make his move. Very interesting. How does the divine feminine see the divine masculine at this time? Wow, she sees him as taking the lead. Beautiful. We have 2 Wands cards coming up here. Look at this. Very fiery. They have this match in energy right now. Both fire. Okay. So she's seeing him take the lead finally. Maybe she didn't see that before, but her belief in her divine masculine and her belief in this journey and her everlasting faith on this journey, it's like she's starting to see these changes in the universe. She's starting to see these changes that are taking place. And she knows that he is stepping into his divine masculine energy and taking the lead for a change. That's amazing. That's really, really amazing. I love that. Okay, so now we're going to go ahead and take a look at some union energy, you guys. Beautiful. What is the union energy between the divine feminine and masculine right now? Current energies. Okay, so we have a Queen of Air. This could be a special message for some of you air sign females out there, but don't make it fit. It doesn't have to. But this is the Queen of Air, somebody who's getting very clear with her thinking. She's thinking in terms more of logic, and that doesn't mean she's cold at all. It just means that, man, she is acquiring wisdom. Look at her with that owl there. She is just like dead on. This kind of reminds me of the High Priestess, actually, where she's just quiet and she's just watching. It's almost like she's biding her time. She knows what's coming. She's not losing faith or focus. She's just dead set on her goal. What else? Okay. We have the Five of Swords energy here. The Five of Swords. Now, just so you guys know, I do not necessarily read the actual tarot card meaning. This deck is completely different. It's totally different for me. So what I actually see when I look at this card is we've got some kind of a mask that she's holding, okay? And then she has this blindfold on. So to me, it's like she's willing to just kind of stay not blind. It's not a negative, but she's just realizing that this isn't the time to 100% be present in a situation. She's holding back for a reason. I'm seeing that she's holding back for higher knowledge. She's kind of like waiting in the shadows, and she's just waiting to see what happens. It's not that she's going to take zero action, but it's almost like, again, she's letting the divine masculine take the lead for a change. She's kind of putting her thoughts, I guess, on hold and just kind of putting the blinders on. Maybe she is stopping herself from, looking at certain things that are going to upset her. Maybe she's taking the time to go within. The fives traditionally are numbers of struggle, but they're also numbers of change. And so maybe through some of these hardships, it's been, difficult for her, but now she's starting to feel like, she's starting to understand things. She's no longer willing to see the masks anymore that either she has been wearing or her divine masculine has been wearing. It's like now she has the blindfold on so she can really hold that face and feel her way through the situation instead of seeing something and misinterpreting that or placing her feelings on it, if that's making sense. So that's just what's coming through with that Five of Swords. It's kind of like, to me, it's just biding time. That's just what she's doing. She's patient. She's biding her time right now. sorry, these cards are a little bit of a different stock, so they're not as forthcoming. Yeah, like that's way too many cards. I'm not going to take it. So I know what I'm going to do. Okay, I'm going to put these aside over here, and then I'm going to spread these out. Okay. I always know which one I want. There we go. Yeah. Okay, so this is the Seven of Wands energy here. But in this particular picture, it's like we have this energy presenting itself to the divine feminine, and she's just kind of putting her hands up to her throat. She's not quite sure what to say. So again, I just said so here that she's kind of like biding her time. She's all knowing. She doesn't necessarily need to speak, is what I'm seeing here. She's acquiring wisdom right now. She's observing. She's in observing mode right now. It's just what I'm seeing. But it's because she's intuitive. Like she came up as the High Priestess, and that's how she's feeling her way through situations. She's not relying on seeing. Yeah, and the Divine Masculine here, he's working in the material world. He's working on letting go of things that no longer serve him, and he's also working on his foundations to be able to provide something to his Divine Feminine. And just so you guys know, the way that I read these messages is I actually read the messages whenever I see a Divine Feminine or a Divine Masculine. That's who the message is about. I know not everybody reads them that way, but that's how I do it. Like this is the Divine Feminine, okay? So this is the Divine Feminine here. She's working on her independence. She's working in the material world, okay? She's gentle. Do you see how she's gently offering something there? And then she's got that eye in the third eye. Again, she's all-knowing. She's done the work. She's worked on herself. It's not like she's done, but the thing is, that's where her energy is at right now. It's very much focused on herself and just kind of like that inner knowingness that everything is going to be okay. So she's not worried right now. It's great. So for me, the Six of Swords for one, but for me, it's about moving past troubled times. So things are calmer now. So some of you may have gone through a total dark phase, and now you're starting to come out the other end into the light. You're moving away from things that were troubling you. You're going into a better state of mind is what I'm seeing for some of you Divine Feminines. And that's really, really good. You've taken the time to balance out those dark and light energies, and now you're just kind of cruising right in the middle. And that's exactly where you need to be. Okay. So far we've got a lot of messages for Divine Feminines, and we've got this one for Divine Masculine. This one isn't for anybody. This is just straight up creation. Okay, so it's really pertaining to the both of them and their situation. This is the Ace of Fire, Ace of Wands. Okay, so do you see this dragon? He is looking over his baby, his creation. Now I want you guys to know that these cards that represented each other and how they're viewing each other right now, okay? We have this ace. We have 1, 2, 3. So do you see the progression here? So to me, when we have numbers that are just kind of like leading into one another like this is an indication to me that things are about ready to play out that way in the material world. Because the pentacles, of course, are material to me, but so are Wands energy. It's very fiery, it's very passionate, it's very quick, and it almost hits you real quick. It's unexpected sometimes. So what I'm seeing here for the combined energy between the two of them is that they both want a fresh start. They both want a new beginning, and they both still have passion for one another, and it's this energy that's going to draw them back together. It just is. It's just this crazy amount of chemistry or passion that they have. Divine Masculine here, 4 of Swords. This card here is an indication that, again, he is withdrawing. He is going within. So if he is alone right now, he is doing the work. I want you to see how he has 2 4s here representing him. The 4s are about stability and going within and creating something solid. This is really, really good. So some of your Divine Masculines, you may have thought that they're not doing the work. And I'm seeing through this card that they are really taking the time to reflect and go within and figure out what they're doing, what they want to do moving forward. So some of them, they might be in a holding pattern, or, if it's like, again, if they're not sharing their time with you, I'm not seeing that they're really sharing their time with another. And if they are, it's not what you think. It's just not. Wisdom, yeah. They're acquiring wisdom. That's exactly what it is. The card came up for the Divine Masculines already. It already did. Here it is. We've got 2 cards that have the same exact word, wisdom. Okay, that's what this journey is all about. It's all about the wisdom that one is acquiring or must acquire in order to continue in a positive way for growth for themselves on this journey. So that way they can come back together in union. Okay, it doesn't mean that these two can't learn together, but what I'm seeing is a lot of growth and wisdom being, had. Well, that's not the word I wanted to use. It's just acquired. Sorry, that these two are acquiring wisdom together, but on their own. But because they're twins, they mirror that as well, if that makes sense to you guys. There's definitely some kind of a dynamic there where they're both on the spiritual journey simultaneously. So it's like, again, that mirroring effect. Whatever your divine masculine's going through, it's like you guys are just doing it on the other end. So continue to do your work, because it's only like just invoking that within your divine masculine to want to do the same. Emotion and intellect. Okay, so when this card comes up, this is interesting because it's about balancing out the emotions and the intellect. It's about, becoming softer, but also not becoming too emotional. It's about balancing both of those things out very, very, very well. Being very fluid with your thoughts as well as your emotions. It's like getting them both under control, not letting one outweigh the other. So that's another thing that's happening here on this journey. Emotions, yeah. Because emotions are running high. Emotions have run high for quite some time. And so it's really taken the divine feminine a while to really acquire this. It's really taking her, quite some time to get her feelings down packed, where she's not letting her feelings destroy her every single time something happens or doesn't happen. It's not about being super, too strong and hard, like I'm not going to care about it anymore. It's this blend that's happening right now, this balancing effect that's happening right now within the divine feminine. It's very beautiful. So if some of you aren't feeling that way, these are the things to come, is what I'm getting here. Yeah, the Queen of Earth. So we have the Queen of Air, and the Queen of Earth could be a special message for Queen of Earth, okay, that you're doing this, or whatever cards come up after this could pertain to you. But I mean, I feel that all of this is, pertaining to, a little bit of everything that's coming through is going to pertain to someone out there. But the Queen of Earth is somebody, she's working in the material world. She's working on herself. She's working on her body. She's working on her confidence. She's getting herself prepped for her divine masculine. And even if she's not even thinking about him as far as like they're going to have a reunion, because there's lots of you out there that I've spoken to, you're not even thinking about reunion. It's the furthest thing from your mind. You're on this journey because you're doing the work for yourself, which is also a huge thing on this journey. It's not always going to be about reunion. Some of you are either going to have it, and some of you, it might be later. It might be more challenging than others. So it's like you always have to be okay with the fact that, it's going to happen, or it's not going to happen when you exactly want it to happen. But in the meantime, you're going to use the journey in a very positive way for self-growth. Okay, Two of Wands, beautiful. I love to see it's the second time that we've seen it here in this reading. So to me, it's like two people coming together and blending their energies together. And, it's like fireworks, people. So I'm definitely seeing that that's it. And I'm also seeing, of course, I can't help but not say every time I see this card. I should have pushed this forward so you guys could see the whole card. Sometimes this could be that there's, two women, two options in front of the divine masculine. He finally makes a choice. He figures it out. He decides to get rid of that situation that he's been tied up in for quite some time. We have the Queen of Fire. We got just the fire sign woman coming through here. So these are special messages. So this is just kind of that confirmation that, we're talking about across the board. I think the only one that hasn't come out yet is the Queen of Water. But it's like we're hitting up on some specific energies here. And it's funny because right before I got started, I was telling you guys that I was going to start doing readings on all the different elements, and here they are. So that's interesting. Okay, the divine masculine. He's on his journey. So if some of you think that he's just sitting around, he's not doing shit, he's not capable of getting his shit together because he's just been sitting in it for quite some time, or he's been screwing around, he's not serious, he's going nowhere, he's not going to come back, all those things. This guy's on a journey, okay? And if he's not, he's about ready to go on a journey. And this is where the work is going to be done, okay? It's definitely there. Abundance. Yeah, this is both the divine feminine and the masculine. To me, that's kind of like a strength card. We've got the dragon and then we've got the woman here. Same thing. It's about balancing energies in the material world, but creating abundance within yourselves and working in the material world in order to create that abundance for the future. So you guys are both connected to that card there. That's very nice. The Seneschal. Okay, so the Seneschal to me is an interesting card because it talks about like the spiritual like person that is this person that is an onlooker or a protector of some kind of a kingdom or the royalty within a kingdom. I actually had to look this up because I was like, what the hell is this Seneschal? And it made a lot of sense to me. It's almost like an appointed person that watches over other people. So whenever I see this card now, I think of it as somebody who's watching over this divine feminine and masculine in the 3D. As in an actual energy, like, specific angels or specific spirit guides that are working with the two of you in the 3D world. You might not feel it, you might not see it, but they're there. It's like you're being protected. So this particular divine feminine and masculine union is being protected at this time in the 3D world. So if the two of you stray off of your journey or your path, it's almost like you quickly get back on it again because of this special energy, this special protection that you have within your dynamic. And some of us need it because there's a lot of dark energy out there. People trying to take people down. Ten of Swords, again, another card indicating the end of cycles, the end of an era, the end of something. People have done their dark night of the soul. People have suffered long enough. Now it is time to take the swords out of the back. Whoever put them in there, doesn't matter. Let's let them fall out and let's start fresh. That's what I'm seeing there. People are forgiving one another. People are forgiving people that they thought they would never forgive. People are willing to live with love and light in their heart rather than the hate and the blame. It's too much of a burden. They can't deal with it anymore. They don't want it anymore. They would rather not be with their divine masculine or feminine with love in their heart than hate in their heart and try to hang on to this person, okay? It's almost like people are letting go of that pain. They're letting go. Desire. So this is about really what is it that the two of you really, truly, truly desire here? People are thinking about it right now. And I feel that desire has to do with each other. That's what they're really thinking about. They're thinking about all the passion and all the things that they had with their divine feminine or their divine masculine. And because of this desire, this passion that we've seen with all the wands energy draws these two back together. We already see this path opening up for the divine masculine, something about destiny and this universal energy. It's just there's something that's opening up that's very, very powerful. All right, last card here, the Child. Some of you are being drawn back together to have children. I don't know how many times this can come up. I'm also getting that some of you will come back together. This is an indication of a fresh start. You guys will be children again. You guys can start fresh again. So a variety of message. Some of you are trying to bring in children, and some of you are going to be like children again. It's going to feel so fresh and so brand new, and that is the point because we have the ending of an era and the beginning fresh phase of a new one, okay? So now I'm going to go ahead and do some oracle cards. And the oracle cards are going to be blockages, okay? So kind of like the things that are blocking this union from coming about at this time. I mean, obviously we can see that people are still doing their healing. They're still doing their work. They're still needing to, awaken or go on their journey or start that journey, obviously. So that's going to be a block. But we're going to see more specifics. What is the divine masculine's block right now? What is it? Oh, interesting. You were born to create. Okay, so I think it's very interesting that this just came up after the Child card. I think for some of them, their block right now is that it's like, okay, whatever is blocking them in their life is keeping them from fulfilling their contract or some kind of an earthly obligation when it comes to creating something. Now, this could be that it is in fact a child. So some of you are waiting for your divine masculine to come back so that way you guys can have children. And that is kind of being, on hold right now. And some of you are getting older and less fertile and it's becoming a real issue. I get that. So it's telling your divine masculine here, like you were born to create, like you were born to create a child. You were either born to create something in the material world. There's just definitely something there. So it's coming across as a block because there's either some kind of task that still needs to be completed again. It could be connected to a child, or it could be connected to a project or something that they want to create in the material world. But whatever it is, it's like it's got to be created. It's got to be finished for them to move forward. It's blocking them from coming back together with you. They've got to finish up their work in the material world, or they've got to feel good about themselves in the material world, or something like that. But they were born to create. They've got to do it. Okay, so what's another? What else is blocking him? Wash away your burdens. So there's definitely some burdens in the divine masculine's life. He's got to wash it away. We already saw that. There's things that he needs to cut from his life. There's things that he just needs to get rid of that's no longer serving him. So yeah, I mean, that's a block. You know, he could still be caught up in that, even though we saw that it's looking like he wants to do it, but wanting to do it and doing it are two different things. So he's got to wash away the things that are burdening him at this time. This is also about letting your feelings flow as well. I always see tears with this card too. So if there's any kind of burdens from his past or any kind of past pain or trauma, it's like he needs to get that cleared up as well. Okay. Let two become one. Look at this divine feminine and masculine couple. Let two become one. Yeah, that's the merge of union of twin flame right there. So this is what he's blocking. So to me, it's like we see that he is looking at the divine feminine. He's starting to wake up to this energy or these thoughts of, you know what, this could be the one. Okay, this could be someone that I, want to spend my life with, or I want to revisit this for some reason again. I have this pull, or I'm thinking about this person again. I want to, reach out, or I want to reconnect. So all these things we can see are kind of starting to happen. But let two become one, that's still very scary for the divine masculine. So it's coming up in his blockage position because that's where he's at. So the three blockers, I'm just going to kind of review them again. It's like let two become one, literally, so we can create a baby. Or, he's got to do something in the material world. He's got to create something, and he's got to create something to the point where he feels good about it. And once he does, and he feels accomplished, he could come back to his divine feminine. But there's certain burdens that he has that are either emotional or actually physically standing in his way in the material world that he's got to push past. He's got to let it go. So those are the divine masculine blocks. Let's go into the divine feminine. What are her blocks right now? Embracing the masculine. Very interesting. So her divine masculine is what's blocking her right now. The fact that he is still taking time. The fact that he still has a lot of work to do. The fact that she's been waiting on him for quite some time. So sometimes it can come off as a block for her, to where she feels blocked. She feels confused. She's not sure if it's going to happen. So it becomes a source of anxiety for her, which is why she's struggling here. But she's also blocked. Like sometimes she is in such a state of fear that maybe she just doesn't even have faith that she's ever going to be with her divine masculine again. So it becomes a block for her and a fear sometimes. So what I'm seeing is like she's kind of up and down with that energy. Time to reflect. Okay, so I think that some of the divine feminines, which is why this is coming up as a block, it's like, you may have spent this time being in this anxiety-ridden state, or this sad state that you're not with your divine masculine and you're not doing the work. You're not taking this time to reflect on your own stuff. It's like you're still just kind of focusing just on the divine masculine, and because of that, you're actually losing out on this opportunity, this very almost like educational opportunity to take this time to reflect and work on yourself. So I'm seeing that some divine feminines out there are blocked at this time because they're not really wanting to deal with these aspects. They're just kind of wanting to concentrate on only union, or concentrate on the pain or the sadness that they're feeling in the separation. They're not really taking the time to look at it, what they can learn about themselves. That's just what I'm seeing. And one final card. Seek your answers within. I think for some divine feminines is that they're so blocked and they're so ridden with fear and sadness that they feel like they can't even trust themselves anymore. They feel like they cannot seek their answers from within. They don't trust their inner voice anymore. They feel like they've lost faith. They feel like it's just wishful thinking, or they're just deluding themselves. And so they're not able to seek their answers within. Maybe they're going to a lot of outside sources for answers. And I'm seeing that maybe that's not always the best case for everybody. Sometimes some of us may feel like we're going to get the answers from an outside source, and you need to be very careful when you do that, because not everybody is going to be on the same frequency or wavelength as you. And so if they're not, it's really just gonna fuck you up. Sorry to say, it's not gonna do you any good. So you need to make sure that you are, really concentrating on just, going within and trusting your own inner voice and doing what you can do in order to trust that inner voice. Drop the expectations, drop the anger, drop the sadness. Work on that healing. Once you can start raising your vibration, your inner voice will start to speak to you again in a way that you can understand the truth that's coming through. Okay? Now, what's the blocks for the union period? Patience. That's always a block for anybody. Patience. It's like, this thing is taking too damn long. How many more months or years for some of you, okay? How much longer is this going to be? So the patience is definitely trying on the union for sure. For sure. Know that you belong, okay? I think that the struggle for this union is actually just staying on the freaking journey. There's so many people, including myself, that have questioned this journey. Is this right? Is it bullshit? Is it real? I mean, the thing is, we all go through this anytime we get on a journey that requires faith and belief of your inner knowing and what you know is right for you. A lot of naysayers will try to take you off this path, or there's a lot of people that don't even understand what it truly is because they're not resonating with it, that will also try to take you off of this path. Know that you belong on this path. Once you have that inner knowingness where you can trust and seek your own answers within, then nothing can shake you. I just got this advice this evening from somebody just full of so much wisdom. It's like when you're so strong and you just have this inner knowingness, it's like nothing can touch you, nothing can rock you, nothing can shatter you. You're so strong in your knowingness within how you feel and what you know that there's nothing that can take you off this path. There's nothing that can make you feel or believe that this isn't your calling, or this isn't your true path, or this isn't your divine counterpart. So, I'm just putting that out there. So know that you belong on this path. So it's a blockage coming up for the union, because I also feel like this is for the divine masculine too. He may not even know, like, there's a lot of divine masculines out there that don't know about twin flames, okay? And even if they did, they'd be like, huh? So it's not really going to be the same, but it's like, know that you belong. Know that you belong together. Know that you belong with your divine feminine. So I almost feel like that's the issue on his end. And I feel like that's the issue on the divine feminine's end, is like knowing that she belongs on this path, but also that knowing that she belongs with her divine masculine. So it's like knowing that they belong together is a blockage for this union, and being patient with this process as well. It's very challenging. It's very challenging, and definitely not for the weak, That's for sure. But have courage. Beautiful. This is like the strength card to me. Leo, Lion. It's just have the courage. You guys both you have the courage to get through this, even though it seems dark, even though it seems lost, even though it kind of feels like you don't belong, or, you get off of it, you get on it, you get off it again, you get back on it, whatever. Know that you belong on this path, and that it's just patience is a virtue, and have the courage and strength, because it's going to require a lot on your part in order to get there for sure. Okay. Now we're going to take a look at, I did this the other day, which I thought was kind of cool. I'm hoping I get some either similar cards or different cards, just to kind of see where our divine masculines, the pictures of their minds right now. Like if we could take a snapshot of his mind when he's thinking about you specifically, what would it be? Let's take a look. Okay, I'm just going to go like this. It's just a matter of time. Remember with the Destiny card that I pulled before, or that shot out of the deck? This is a matter of time, and he freaking knows it. For some of them, they know that they're actually running out of time. They know that it's almost like they're worried that their divine feminine is either going to be she's going to be in another relationship, that she's not going to be available, that too much time has gone on to where she's not going to even accept him when he comes back. There's some kind of worry when it comes to time here, okay? He feels that he's just wasted too much time, or it's going to take too much time for him to do what the hell he needs to do. So this is some kind of a worry, but it is connected to his divine feminine, as we can see it here, which is what I asked anyways. I wanted to know the impressions of his mind when he's thinking of his divine feminine. Oh, yeah, look at this. This is something about letters. Wow, this is something about memories. It's like someone either wants to write a letter, or they wish for this kind of communication, or they're thinking about writing you or something, an email, a text. It could even be a phone call. A lot of people don't write letters these days, so I'm going to take this as kind of like more of a, modernized meaning, but there's something about the past. They're thinking about the past. They're thinking about the past with you. They're either thinking about words that were spoken. They're either thinking about things that they said, things that they did. Whatever it is, it's definitely something that, it's something that's not necessarily like pleasant, but it's not bad either. It's kind of just like right there in between, a little melancholy for me. That's very interesting. So I think maybe some of them may even be thinking about reaching out, but they just don't know how. And so they keep wasting time going back and forth, back and forth. There's something going on there. Okay, so some of them, this is the way that they're feeling, but this is also the way that they're looking at the divine feminine. Okay, so I'm getting two messages here. So some of them are looking at their divine feminine as being unavailable. They may know that you're unavailable. They may know that you're with another partner, or that you're married, or that you're in a relationship, or that you're in a karmic relationship. But they also may be feeling like this as well when they think about their divine feminine, like they're all tied up. They know that they can take the sword and save you, okay? But will they? The sword just sits there and it remains, and the divine feminine just stays there with her, also just tied and bound. I'm also seeing for some of them that they look at you as an angel for them. They look at you as some kind of guiding light for them. They look at you to soothe them and to take away just all of that sadness and all of these burdens that they've been feeling for quite some time. So yeah, there's all those things that are coming through when I'm seeing this card here. They're looking at their divine feminines as angels. They're looking at their divine feminines as being victims, to where they can't break them loose out of a situation. They want to, but maybe they feel like they can't because it'd be the wrong thing to do. They're trying to respect or just respect what the divine feminine is now in, because they haven't been around for a while. So they're trying to figure out, again, how to take that freaking sword and cut the divine feminine out of that situation. But for some of them, this is just how they feel, like they just can't reach their divine feminine. They can't pick up that sword. They don't have the strength to apologize, even to say that they're sorry for something either. That's what I'm getting now. Some of them know that they have fucked you up so bad with the things that they've said or done to you, but it's like they don't even have the strength or the courage at this time to take that sword and unravel this for you and to relieve your pain at this time. That's just what's coming through, you guys. I don't know. It's really deep. Wow, here she is again. Divine feminine. So when I ask, is he thinking about his divine feminine? Like, what's he thinking about? This is very accurate here, because every single card that's come up so far is all females. And there are males that are in this deck too, but they're not coming through, at least not yet. But this is a divine feminine. It's like, to me, when I see this divine feminine, it's like, she's just kind of like, she's been through hell. I mean, she's around all these Venus fly traps, and she's like holding on to this little flower with this like little veil and this dark red color. It's like, look at the look on her face. She's just kind of, I don't know. She's a little intimidating to me. She's not necessarily approachable. So I'm really feeling that the divine masculine might be looking at his divine feminine, and he's not quite sure, again, how he's going to approach this divine feminine. He may have done some things to her that were not so great, and he knows it, and she knows it, and he might just be afraid to come forward. He's trying to figure out how to do that. He's intimidated by her is what I'm getting. He's just intimidated. Here he is, finally, the divine masculine. He's thinking about some kind of burden. This came up the other day. There's something on his back. It could be that other partner or that other situation in his life, or just burdens, period, that's on his back, okay? It's just he's trying to just kind of balance something, or he's trying to deal with the situation, okay? But what I'm also getting from this is that that could even be the divine feminine, as in she is very much still like attached to him, and he's really trying to find the strength to hold her up and to balance her. He's really trying to lend her strength, or he's trying to just really show her how strong he is. You know, by holding her up, by protecting her, by keeping her balanced so she doesn't fall. There's something going on like that. Wow. All right, we're going to go for one more card. I don't know why, just not feeling anything. Okay, another female card here. So this right here is, okay, so what's going on in the divine masculine's mind when he's thinking of this divine feminine? We have all these little fairies that are coming out like magic out of this little cup here. He may look at his divine feminine as somebody who's very magical, somebody who is a creator, somebody who is just creating something in the universe. So he's very aware of her power, or he's very aware of her magical abilities. He's very aware of her powers, just what keeps coming through my mind. That's just what it is. So he's very aware of either something that you're doing in the material world, or he's aware of your power or your strength or your magical abilities or something like that. Whatever you're creating, to me, it's like the magician in a way, where he's feeling like you have the Midas touch right now, or the things that you're creating are just really, really turning to gold. So some of them just may know what you're doing. They may know what you're doing in the world. They may have checked up on you and know what you're creating. Something like that. I don't know. It's just coming through. All right, we're going to end up with some Lucy Cavendish and other decks. Stacy DeMarco, I think, decks here. All right. I told myself this was going to be a short one. Please. I don't know how to do a short video. I do have the best intentions when I go in, you guys. I just can't help it. Okay. All right, that's way too many. I'm not taking it. I'm sorry. Not feeling it. This is just going to be advice for the future. This is just going to be like advice for 2018. You know, I don't care when it is. Just the whole year. Advice from our guides, from Spirit, for the whole freaking year. Okay. That's funny. Did you guys see this card came up earlier? It was meant to come out. Going beyond normal. Wow. This is about huge ideas. Okay. This is about thinking so much bigger than you thought before. This is about not having that limited belief or thinking. It's just about huge thoughts. And I think it's interesting because it's like community and web weaving, like huge, the world and networking. To me, that's like the world card. There's something about something being big, and then we've got angel of vision. So these are very powerful coming up already for 2018, because this just means that this is going to be a really big year where it's going to be beyond normal. It's going to be beyond bigger than yourself. It's going to be on a huge level. Whatever either you guys are doing together, or you're going to be doing by yourselves within the universe, or there's just something that happens this year universally, it's bigger than ourselves. So very powerful cards. I'm not really sure how to interpret them except for just big. And I think it's interesting that all three of them came out together. Big stuff, big visions, huge things, gigantic dreams and visions, and just seeing. Yeah, it's, wow. Very interesting. But this one right here, I'm going to go ahead and read it because I'm just seeing the words. And I don't always read the words, but I just felt drawn to read it. Angel of Vision. Someone is not revealing part of the story. Trust your feelings over what others say. So it's about looking deeper within what's not being said. So whatever is not actually being revealed to you, there's a bigger part of the story. There's more to it than meets the eye. So again, it's like, don't get tripped up with what you're seeing. Know that there's more to the story. But whatever you're not hearing, know that there's more to it. Don't get up in your head about it. It's just what's coming through. Secret doorway. Working with intuition, second sight opening, and dimensional doorways. Oh my God, that's huge. This is about like dimensional energy. This is about portholes opening up. This is about second sights, like just something opening, portals. That's just what's coming through. And I know that a lot of people have been talking about that. Like I said, there's something huge happening this year with twin flames. And I think that secret doorway just kind of making its appearance right in the middle of all that big energy it's very interesting. Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and take those. It's very, very interesting to me. So yeah, definitely some universal shifts of energy this year, for sure. Cycles. This is awesome. It's one of the first times I've got this card, and I've had this deck since Christmas. Cycles are ending, people. I'm telling you, things are changing this year. Big endings, big cycles, big changes coming through. Selling out, okay? A lot of you are going to sell out. That's just what I'm getting here. Yeah. Because the thing is, we've got angel of manifestation. It's like your efforts, determination, and perseverance will pay off. Some of you won't be able to hang, is what the universe is saying. But the thing is, if you can't hang, or if there's certain things that just aren't working for you, then maybe this just isn't the right journey for you. Maybe this journey just, you're not ready for it, or just something like that. I know that's a little bit of a harsh message, but that's just what's coming through. Things are going to shift in such a way to where it's almost going to, the people that are meant for this journey will stay on this journey, and the people that, you know, were just kind of half foot in, half foot out, or didn't really understand what the journey is about, they're just going to fade away. They're just going to fall off. That's just what I'm seeing here. I know it sounds harsh, but I don't know. It's just coming through. It's almost like the energy shift is so high that it doesn't have room for any of the lower vibrations. It just doesn't. Angel of relaxation. Let go of desired outcomes and you will get what you want. Again, this is bigger thinking. This is people thinking outside of themselves, realizing that they can relax, let go, and know that once you let go, it will come to you. This is about bigger understanding, not being attached to the union, not being attached to the romance, not being attached to that part of the journey, realizing that it's so much more. I mean, yes, all those things are wonderful, don't get me wrong, and we all look forward to that, but it can't be the main focus. Well, maybe it can, but it's just, it's bigger than that. Transparency. People are going to become transparent. People are going to drop their masks. People are going to be revealed. They're going to be not only revealing their true selves, but they're going to be revealing their feelings. They're going to be just taking off their masks. Wow. I don't even want to stop. Temptation. Man, look at this. Do you see this divine masculine energetically coming to this divine feminine? The temptation is strong. The chemistry and the pull towards divine feminines and masculines is going to be really strong this year, either energetically in the 5D, or it's just going to come straight from the 5D and it's going to pull down to the 3D, and you're going to experience it here in 3D. I mean, that's a really strong card. So yeah, a lot of temptation is going to be revealed. Angel of prayer. Ask the universe and the angels for help and guidance. So throughout this process, you know, it's about still relying on spirit. Spirit is still there to help guide and protect you on this journey, as well as others. Night song. Hidden talents. So this is interesting because it's just really saying that somebody has got some talents. Somebody has some things that maybe they have been ignoring for quite some time. Maybe there's certain things that are going to be revealed this year. You're going to come back together with your twin flame, and suddenly you guys are going to be creating magic together. There's hidden talents, there's hidden things. But it doesn't have to just be about reunion. It could very well be about just your individual talent, and you're really going to come into your own this year, because I'm seeing that somebody is going to finally accept themselves and feel equal in the world. They're going to feel like they own their own power, and it might be through this hidden talent where they gain the strength and they gain this confidence that they didn't have before. This year is life-changing, not only for the connections, but it's changing, or it's life-changing for the individuals as well. Please don't lose hope is what Spirit's telling you. So for a lot of you, you're not going to lose hope. You're not. And then Goddess of Beauty, it's about divine feminines working on themselves and just feeling more beautiful and just feeling really good. I'm already seeing that. They're just stepping into their power. They're stepping into this amazing energy. Angel of New Life just popped out. Yeah, an exciting new chapter in your life is about ready to unfold. Very exciting year for divine feminines. I mean, I'm seeing it really just all over energy. It's very exciting, but divine feminines, wow. I mean, that's for divine masculines too. Embracing a new chapter of your life. It's exciting. Newness is coming, and the angels are there to help. I'm going to take these as this last messages, because we're going into an hour and 10 minutes now. Going against the grain, that's what it's all about. So it's been a tough journey. It's been a tough uphill battle for some of you, and you felt like you've been tested the entire time, but you make it. You're up for the task. You're up for the task and the harshness of this journey that sometimes can bring. Softly, softly, the tender touch. Beautiful. This is just about having soft energy. This is about being more loving and kind towards yourself, towards your divine masculine, and towards others, period, in this life. It's just about being tender and soft. Calm amidst the chaos. So again, going against the grain, you know the chaos of the world, but it doesn't matter. You're still calm within the storm. And then Angel of Communication. Communicate clearly and don't be afraid to tell it like it is. There's some of you that have something to say this year. There's some divine masculines that also have something to say. We could see that with the impressions of his mind. People want to say things. I feel that through these cards, what they're really telling us is that this year is going to be life-changing for a lot of divine feminines and masculines on not only an individual level, but within their union or reunion or coming back together and having communication finally. For some of them, they haven't had communication in so long. These cycles are about ready to end. A new chapter can now begin once this communication takes place. It's very, very beautiful. So anyways, I hope that you guys enjoyed this reading. I'm, of course, ending it on 1/11. Well, it's 1/11/40, but still, it's just always seeing 11s. And yeah, I don't know. The last video I did, a lot of people asked me, did you purposely stop on 3333? I swear to you all, I did not notice that at all until I uploaded the frickin' video. It was amazing. Angel numbers right now and just numbers in general that I'm seeing are just have so much today, or wow, so much to say. I actually did a reading earlier and it was amazing. There were several number sequences that came up that had special meaning for this client. And I just thought it was amazing. So numbers are very powerful. Just pay attention. Pay attention to things that you guys see that seem consecutive or you see it over and over and over again. These are your angels' way of speaking to you and having something, something either reassuring or maybe a little bit of a warning or something to think about. That's their way of communicating with us. So anyways, thank you guys so much for watching this video. I hope that you enjoy it for your Sunday. And like I said, I plan to bring some new things into my channel next month and just kind of continuously go with whatever I'm feeling whenever I'm feeling it. So I hope that you guys enjoyed it, and I will see you guys next time. Thanks a lot.